Arriving at Lijiang Tower. Initiating match.
Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Psychic, accompanied by Elm. Elm, how you doing?
Great.
Now, I think that we are here for the UKY qualifier here against Messiah eSports with CSU White facing off against them. Starting off on Lijiang Tower.
I love this map.
I feel like it's a very common starter map. It's something we might see a bit of Winston action from Messiah. CSU playing the Ramatra comp that I feel like we've seen a lot of this season.
One of the more common comps, especially with how strong Ramatra is.
Like, yeah, is it like primarily? Do you think that it's primarily like his perks, or do you think he just got real buffed?
I think he was good before the perks, but the perks made him very, very strong.
Like the additional shot seems really good.
Yes.
Like that's a significant damage increase. Alrighty, we are gonna see staying. I love the I love the Symmetra. How like Symmetra has kind of become like a meta pick, just from like admittedly you can just put a lot of very funny sentries on the point here, but like teleporting into the window is just kind of cool.
Yeah, she's got a lot of mobility, especially on Lijiang, because there's all those like high windows on every map, pretty much.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Except I don't remember
the one with the
the
overhang.
city center. Yeah, that one's not great for Symmetra, but the other two.
I mean,
very
even
good
then,
Symmetra maps.
like it's so difficult to pierce through that if they're being held. So I feel like being able to teleport behind enemy lines, even if you might need to be a little bit cheeky with it, it's probably really valuable. Unfortunately, it looks like CSU is going to be forced off of the point here, losing a lot of team members, getting chased out. Unfortunate.
Ooh.
Ugh.
We saw Shoes go down early in that fight, and then kind of just went all downhill from there.
Yeah, Overwatch is not a game where you can survive without a tank. It is. Like I think that like you could see CSU rotating out because like it's almost impossible to win these fights against a tank unless you can just immediately trade it back in. Shoes taking a massive chunk of damage, just sort of stuck in this weird pincer situation. See the teleport in, trying to.
Oh my goodness!
No!
Huge move. Oh my goodness!
The triple! No! We just got Twitter clipped!
He got 4! He almost got a pentakill.
You gotta come back from this, CSU.
Lucio just popped off.
And that's the problem with the Symmetric Teleport. As much as it is an incredibly valuable mobility tool, if they know you're coming, you're gonna die!
He's set up for it again.
He's even got the beat!
A better TP this time. No edge of the map.
You're gonna drop the teleport. We're gonna see the beat come out. Nebby in the back goes down. Unfortunately, not having one of their DPS is gonna be painful. They are currently declawed, no DPS, and with Shoes down, it's not looking like they're gonna be able to contest this.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they can change right now.
I think
the Lucio one was unfortunate. I haven't seen enough to know what's going wrong here.
I think right now you can't let this get to your mental.
Yeah.
I think right now your goal. I don't know if you can take the point. I think right now you want to build your perks.
Yes.
You want to build you want to build your level 3s. You want to build frankly some of these characters want their level 2. It's super important for them to be in this situation. We're going to see Nebby in the back going down to an overclock alongside Winter. Dovera drops the Fox too, but I don't know if it's going to be enough with people already really in hurt. Chamwow taken out, and that's going to be the first point for Messiah eSports. Ouch! It really felt like that Lucio just entirely axed CSU's momentum.
Yeah. I mean, the first fight, I don't think they picked up any kills in the first fight. They did get the damage down. They were laying down the damage, and then the Lucio on the second push just completely ruined all momentum CSU had there.
It hurts your direct momentum. It makes it significantly harder to push forward because that means that Messiah is going to end up having beat. Okay, we're going to see these switch from Messiah over to Ramatra alongside a Torb.
Do you see the Symmetra swap to a May?
I think I definitely prefer it, especially on this point.
Yeah,
These hallways
Symmetra isn't the best pick on this map, or this specific control point.
Absolutely, especially, and I think that
wow.
May's real. Oh my goodness!
Crazy
What were those pipes?
Crazy Junkrat angle.
insane. I do really like the Mei on this point in particular because of all of these hallways that can be walled off. CSU going to trade for a DPS. It's going to be Messiah taking control of the point first.
They can definitely still fight this if they play it right.
Absolutely. I just think that they have to get back onto their feet, refuse to give up this momentum. Shoes having a little bit of a tank duel as the rest of his team begins to rotate in. Trying to split attention here. Dizzy's going to end up trying
to... Unfortunate Maywall. I like the idea, though.
Dovera goes down, which is scary for CSU, but CSU is able to take out Dizzy. That's huge. Once that tank falls, this fight is in a different context entirely. Virtually, Nebby in the back going down to the opposing Junkrat.
Oh, no.
Not ideal. That's really not what you want to see. Torb and that Junkrat doing a lot of damage. Shoes trying to punch in for damage, but unfortunately unable to hold the point. That's going to be returning to Messiah eSports.
Lucio Kiriko is a very good heal comp right now, but we might need to see some higher healing comp, especially against a Junkrat.
Yeah, no, it's really scary to be taking this much damage. Honestly, part of me wants to see like a VAP.
Yeah.
Riptire's going to come out, which is scary for CSU. Messiah eSports just continue to push in. Winter goes down. They are able to trade for the Junkrat at the very least. Shoes does have access to that Annihilation, trying to punch out the turret, but unfortunately has to block from the other direction. Annihilation comes down from Dizzy. CSU still trying to punch in as they're suffering as they have. CSU loses Dovera and Nebby in the bag. Really painful, especially at the 75%.
You just have to back up and hope you get one more fight here.
It's really not ideal.
Shoes might go down.
Honestly, if Shoes goes down, it feels like it might end up being Curtains. Like, you cannot lose your tank in this situation. It forced something like a Junkrat switch. Or not a Junkrat switch, a Doomfist switch.
I don't know if they can even get a touch here.
I don't know. I feel like at this point, it's now or never. You got to start dumping abilities. We're going to see Shoes just dropping the Annihilation, just trying to run in, but unfortunately unable to make it to the point. And that's going to be the first round. Messiah eSports able to take a very, very dominant game over CSU. It feels like they need to find an adaptation.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see them change up their picks more, especially like that second round. The first round was so quick. There's not much you can do.
I mean,
there.
to be fair, how do you compete with
this? Yeah, insane.
I don't know what to comment.
Yeah.
I don't like glazing other teams, but that was crazy.
But in that second round there, I would have liked to see, as we said, this maybe a higher healing support comp or like a Baptiste to get the immortality down.
Like a Baptiste to get the immortality down. I think honestly, part of me wants to say like Ana.
Ana could help against the Ramatra. They do have a Kiriko, but still, if you play around it, could be very good.
I mean, if something has to eat Suzu.
Yes.
Like Suzu's gonna do something regardless. And as much as like I would rather not have my nano cleanse, or not nano, I'd rather not have my anti cleanse. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Just more adaptation is what I'd like to see. If things aren't going right, you got to try something different.
CSU needs to be able to find their own momentum, find their way to pierce through Messiah here, because it's feeling like they are in a very scary situation.
Yes. They need to not let that first game get to their head. Need to lock in here.
I think the scary part here is like it's so easy to lose mental here.
Yes.
It is so easy to get hit with. I hate to. It was a Twitter. Like your Little Jim is posting this on their social media the moment this game ends. I wouldn't be surprised if they're posting it right now.
Yeah. They're the spectators. That's why they're the spectators.
You guys see like the Ram animation issue, like first round. They were Nemesis, and then they were also shooting.
Oh. I mean, like, why can't you shoot Nemesis for him? He's got big arms. He can still hold the staff.
Right, why doesn't he just continue shooting?
He's got 4 arms for a reason.
Doubling the DPS. What's the problem?
Why doesn't he? What if Ramancha just started punching people in regular form?
That'd be awesome. Make that his right click.
You know what I think they should have done? Like, I don't think they ever would have, but you know what I think would have been a cool thing for them to do for Mirror Watch? you switch Ramatra and Zenyatta. Where it's like where Zen's is the tank now, and Ramatra is the healer.
He's got a crazy knockback on the kick still.
He's got a crazy knockback on the kick.
He's like a wrecking ball.
Like not even. I think that he's like kind of like a Sigma, except like instead of a shield or anything, he has like temporary transcendence.
So he's like a support tank.
Not even support tank. Like I imagine, like instead of like a shield or something, he goes invincible for. It's like Magneto.
So it's basically Hazard when he was released.
Okay.
I feel like Hazard Shield does nothing. Maybe that's just me. I feel like it does
I
nothing
mean,
now.
Well, I said when he was released.
Release was a different
Release
story.
Hazard, he'd put up the shield and he'd be full HP from like 100 instantly. It was awesome.
Oh, guess I die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally, he also kills you for it.
Oh, guess I die. My bad for holding forward. I'll consider that next time.
Having a shield that also does a like pretty good amount of damage is kind of an insane thing to put on a
A
character.
little bit busted.
Yeah.
A little silly with it.
Like, I'll be frank. I'm the like as much as I don't like the design, I think Hazard mechanically is super fun.
Hazard is awesome. I
He's
love
cool.
him, but I hate him so much at the same time.
He's such a cool design. Like I think like Maywall on a tank is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine just blocking. Like you block somebody and it's like, hey man, you're stuck in a room with a tank. What are you gonna do?
I think they needed another like hypermobile tank. I think it was a little overboard.
It's a little overboard.
Because he was a hypermobile tank that was also a super tanky tank that also did the most damage of any tank.
He did he was. He also healed himself.
Yes.
Incredibly sufficiently.
It was just absurd. Is Freya like competitively good at all?
Whom?
The new character that's coming out?
I don't
Oh,
know.
an arrow.
She was kind of awesome when I played her, I'm gonna be
I
honest.
didn't get the chance to play her. I was doing.
She was really fun. She's got like 30 dashes. She doesn't do any damage, it feels like, but she's really fun.
I probably didn't play her because I was like, oh, I need to aim with this character. I play on console because I don't get to play.
Yeah.
She's like Hanzo, where you kind of just shoot down an alleyway and you'll hit everyone
jump up,
eventually.
You slow down, you shoot, big damage, you do it again.
Her ult's really fun. I like that it like refunds partial charge if you direct hit someone.
Yeah, you hit somebody, it brings people in, explosion.
It's like another ultimate that I can't mention on the stream.
But hypothetically,
It's like if you did it again.
again, you
And
say-
again.
again.
And again.
I wonder who we could be talking
I
about.
wonder who we could.
So like
I
you're
wa-
saying, you're like armed and what's the word?
It's like we are armed and threatening, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
I understand.
I don't know that I can like fully reference I think it's so funny to pretend like it's a band to speak about on an Overwatch stream.
See, they can never add the awesome emote that other game cannot mention is currently having.
They got their
that emote
own-
were added. Well, what hero would you like to see it on?
Sigma.
Sigma. What, he's got negative. What are you talking about?
I don't care. He's dancing to the music that the universe is singing to him.
I like playing Master and they're just playing. Do you hear that? You hear that music?
Oh, Midtown.
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 There's one of those in the other game too.
Midtown, more like Midtown. Am I right, guys?
I mean, it is.
Is it?
I like
kinda-
the first point on Midtown, but after that, it's kind of a blur.
I forget like 60% of this map, honestly.
That's
like
how
Midtown,
I
and then
feel.
start losing.
I feel like the first point and then like the first half of the push point, I know.
Yeah, the first point's awesome, and you get into Grand Central. It's like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, why am I here?
I don't like the
Oh, is that a
underpass.
widow? Guess I die.
The
Yeah.
underpass I don't like either. It's like once you get around that corner on the first push, I lose interest in the map.
I guess that's why they call it Midtown.
All right.
I can do my job now. Let's go. I'm locked.
Assume we probably see a lot of Ramatra here too.
That's what we're expecting.
Not enough players were cooked.
I mean, probably somewhat similar comps to at least the healer tank setup. I'd assume we see Sojourn for both sides.
Probably. I think that makes a lot of sense. I feel like this is definitely a map that it favors a lot of specific picks.
They got rid of the sidewalk.
Are y'all excited for Overwatch 3 when they reduce the roster to 4v4?
What do you have? Do you have a tank, a DPS, a support? What's the third?
You have a tank.
Bill?
I think you have a tank, a support, and 2 DPS. I mean,
Oh,
that's
we're
just
actually
a,
gonna
that's
see
just a
the
leg party.
Winston.
Winston. Excuse me. For
Similar team
Dropping
comp
it.
to what they played that first round on Lijiang.
I think that we should be playing with the April's. Is there an April Fool's patch?
Yeah, it's out now. You can play in customs, but you get to get like the best hero interaction between Venture and Winston. Where all Winston says is just Winston.
That's real.
Winston.
Winston.
I do like Brig. I'm not sure how much I like Brig. It's good against the Genji. I don't really love it against Winston, but they don't know they have a Winston, so...
Yeah. It's a little bit of information situation.
Winston.
Winston. But I feel like CSU is going to have to maybe figure out what they're doing here. We will have to see.
Yeah, I'm a really big Brig fan. Played a lot of Brig in Overwatch 1.
I feel like I kind of forget this character's in the game a lot of the
Oh,
time.
wow. Lucio kind of just went on a massive flank there.
Oh no.
I feel like I mentioned that I forgot about this character a lot, and then this character disappeared from my screen.
Well, after Overwatch 1 and they got rid of her stun, she kind of lost, like, her main thing.
Admittedly, she does feel like a character that would have been defined by the stun, and I feel like you're losing a lot of your identity as a character.
Like,
Right. Jumping into like Overwatch 2, it was like, okay, time to play Brig.
she was like the anti, like, assassin countered, like,
Yeah,
Genji
like-
and Tracer, and now she's kind of just there.
It's like she doesn't really have. She was meant to kind of counter dive, like DPS. You want to dive
Yes,
in,
yes.
get your damage in, but like now she can't do that. CSU unfortunately taking some serious losses, going to have to retreat here. How do you think? Do you think that they should switch off of this to counter the Winston, or how are you feeling?
I think they should definitely go for some kind of Winston counter. I still don't like the Brig into this comp too
And-
much, but
Admittedly, I could see a Reaper working here.
Reaper could work, yes. Obviously, you can't deal with the Sojourn, but
You can't
really
deal-
good against the Genji as long as you play around the deflect.
No,
Really good
absolutely.
against Winston.
It's really good against the Genji. It's really good against the Winston.
Especially if the Lucio is going to keep diving like that. Could be very good against Lucio.
Bit of a trade here. CSU on a 3v or a 2v3, I think. Unfortunately,
Ooh.
Shoes going down means that CSU is probably not going to
Did get the
advantage here.
Kitsune Rush out there, though.
Forcing that out is probably going to be important. CSU needs their ultimate advantage if they want to be able to pierce through here. That being the bag at a pretty high percentage for that EMP.
It's a pretty good team to EMP into, especially if you wait for the Lucio.
Absolutely. Although I could be a little bit concerned. Messiah looks like they're coming up on a beat blade here.
They're looking to set it up.
Messiah trying
There's
to
the
push in
beat.
here. They're going to force out the beat, which is massive. Nebby in the bag, setting up for a huge EMP here.
Just had to back out.
That's like you saw how juicy that
Yeah.
they were. Everyone in the kitchen sink was there.
I think they just weren't in the position to capitalize on it, so they decided to save it.
Yeah, admittedly, that's really unfortunate. But Winston in the back. He's in the building back there.
Winston in the building.
Winston in the house.
That's
Able to
one
take
pickup.
out the Genji. Primal Rage comes out from the Winston, just trying to hold off for this first point. Just chasing down ShamWow.
Drops very low. Ooh.
Because I end up jumping out.
Now this is as good a time as any for these two to push.
They've got every ult they could ever want.
Actually did just pop Juno on, I believe.
That's the orbital laser going to start pushing in. Something like it's pretty good, although Scattered is going to find a pick on Dovera, which is scary. And ShamWow, that's not good! They
Still
are gonna,
winnable.
Still winnable, especially when they kill on the opposing tank. That's looking pretty good, especially with the Annihilation. I think CC's going to be able to take this first point.
It's just shoes.
Sometimes all you need is shoes. What does that mean? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Listen. I just said that as if it were like a quip. I don't know what that means.
EMP came out there.
EMP drop. CSU just trying to hold on
They
for dear
should
life here.
They get 2 pickups.
Looking like they're going to be able to win this team fight.
Are going to pick up this first point here. They have to ride the wave off that last push. They had to use a couple ults there to secure that, but they still have the Sojourn ult. And Messiah has nothing right now, so...
It's looking pretty good. It means that they are going to be an ultimate advantage for at least a little bit here. Admittedly, I feel like this overhang could be a little bit brutal.
Yeah. Especially with no, like, efficient way to push this. You kind of just have to push the payload until it's under and hope they just let you.
Effectively. And especially with, like, the Ramatra, like, into the Winston. Like, Winston is so much
There's a
more...
beat drop.
Beat drop is going to come down here from Messiah. But CSU is probably just going to be able to handle it. Although Shoes goes down, which is not what you want to see in this situation. I think my main concern, once they get to the overhang, which is it might be a little bit difficult, is, like, Winston is so much more capable of, like, transitioning from the top to the bottom.
That's the big problem with Ramatra right now on this particular setup that we have. Is you pretty much only way you can get on the high ground is to push a stairway, and once you drop down, they can just take that high ground right back to how mobile their T-Comp is.
He doesn't have that vertical mobility that a lot of other tanks have, or primarily dive tanks have. You see, Dimming the Bag goes down, which is really, really painful for CSU. Shoes, additionally, minute on the clock with CSU struggling a little bit here. Bubble comes down, and ShamWow goes out. Ugh.
You find a kill on the Lucio.
Important, although it is maybe a little bit less impactful than you'd want it to be, just given the fact that Lucio can rotate out so quickly.
Yeah.
CSU trying to push back onto the cart here.
Looks like the Genji's going to set up a blade here in the back.
I definitely could believe it. ShamWow goes down. Dovera drops the orbital laser. Unfortunately, scattered in the backline takes out Winter.
She's going to pop Annihilation.
Making him suffer as he has. Staying on the point. Unfortunately, taking a lot of damage here, but... CSU still has players on the point. They can continue to contest us as long as they can stay on.
We have to sound ready to touch. Oh,
He comes out, but unfortunately...
doesn't quite get it.
Ugh, that's painful.
Definitely a holdable point. You just have to have kind of a rock-solid defense here.
That, like, you do not have the space or the opportunity to give up space in this situation.
I mean, Midtown's definitely one of those maps where you can hold just the first point. It might be hard to stop them once they get it rolling, but if you can keep them from capturing the point, you definitely have a chance of winning this.
Absolutely. It's maybe a little bit hard, just given the fact of it is going to be something that you do not have any margin for error for.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is definitely possible, especially on Midtown.
That's one of the benefits of the hybrid maps, is that even if you don't push it very far, there is a way for you to still just hold 1 point. You can still win if you don't get the push very far.
Sometimes you just gotta believe we're gonna see these switch over to the Cassidy.
Probably going to see a very similar comp from Messiah, I believe.
I would expect. Interesting with the Diva. That might be a counter to the Winston?
Yeah, I could see it. We're actually going to see potentially a Doom Fist.
Doomfist. Curious.
Zarya.
Never mind, Zarya. Okay.
Oh wow, that's not very good for Diva.
Oh no! Yeah, no.
Oh, wow.
No.
That's unfortunate.
Ooh, counter pick central.
I don't even. They didn't even know they were playing Diva. That was just luck of the draw.
They saw into the future. I don't know which one of their players is a precog.
Yeah. They got spies on the inside.
CSU trying to hold on to the point here. With the Genji dropping in with the bubble. Maybe in the bag trying to contest, but unfortunately makes it hard with the reflect. CSU taking some massive losses. Shu's just trying to get back in the mech, but unfortunately, unlike Shinji, will not get in the robot tonight.
I'd definitely love to see a Diva swap here.
the Devo
Zarya, okay.
Zarya. I can respect the Zarya Ditto. Part of me says, like, I think that it might not be the worst idea to switch back to the Ramatra, where it's like you're going to have your perks while they are not going to. But I also don't hate the Zarya Ditto.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a spray on the ground? Who sprayed that?
If you look closely, their eyes are googly eyes.
I feel like Zarya is one of the tanks that she doesn't really have a direct counter like most tanks do. So I feel like Zarya Ditto is probably your best option in most scenarios.
I definitely believe it, although like that's kind of why I think that like going for the Ramatra might be the preferable option, where it's like instead of trying, like you can't really contest Zarya in a counter pick sense, but I think that you could in just the raw power sense, where it's like you're going to have perks while they are going to have to build them back up, and that is a huge point of value.
So they're just gonna go down here.
Maybe not ideal. Beat comes down from Messiah eSports.
Hughes goes down. There's the blade.
Not good.
Should be the round.
That is painful. It's really not where you want to be. Messiah eSports going into game point.
Well, they do have the April Fool's update on.
I love the googly eyes. They are kind of sick.
You know, one time, like 4 years ago, I didn't know it was April Fool's, and I was really confused on why all the characters had googly eyes.
What if they just did that? Like, that's just permanent now.
I thought my game was bugged.
How does that become a bug?
I thought the character model was broken. I thought, like, their eyes just, like, moved 4 feet forward or something.
That's, listen. Alright, CSU, in a scary position going into what I believe is Flashpoint.
I think so. Yes.
Cerveza. I think it's so funny that, like, they're out of the two maps that are in Flashpoint, Cerveza and New Junk City. Take a wild guess which one Junker Queen is really good on.
I don't think it's New Junk
It
City.
is a mystery.
I can't tell you who is good on New Junk City.
Melga, baby. Love Melga. Yep. I love 3 hours of shooting a gun.
Hazard was really good. He's still okay on it, but...
What if they just whipped out the Hazard? What if that was the play?
I mean, this is, like, one of the few maps where you can still play Hazard. Just because he's so mobile, really good with the rotations.
Welcome.
Although, I don't know how it would fare against a Junker Queen if you're expecting a Junker Queen. Although they haven't shown a Junker Queen yet, so who knows, they might not play Junker Queen. There's a ball.
I love Wrecking Ball, but I can't.
I mean, this is a pretty... I'd say this is somewhat standard comp for Flashpoint for Messiah.
I would believe it, although frankly, I also think that CSU is running what they tend to use as well.
Yes, that's also a just good rotation comp.
Like our production, probably is happy that we have a Venture on screen.
Yeah, I saw the Venture gameplay.
Venture gameplay! We're not watching Scattered.
Venture gameplay. Rooting stream.
Venture is one of the, like... No, I think Venture's the only character I've never played.
Real. I mean, like, to be fair, Blizzard wants to neglect them.
This is very true. Dark Shadow.
Yeah, Venture is...
Watch one of our players, please!
Venture gameplay.
We're not doing Venture gameplay. I mentioned it one-off as a bit.
Very low. Oh, no.
Not ideal. CSU struggling to get onto the point here.
I mean, they still have a chance of holding this.
ShamWow just trying to stand on, but unfortunate.
Venture's the one character I haven't played out of lack of interest. Sigma I haven't played just because I don't like Sigma.
You don't like Sigma?
No.
He's so cool!
That's awesome.
Hate
Just
that
throw
guy.
a rock and it's like, wow, not hit by a rock.
You get to throw bricks at people!
Hate that guy.
He's such a guy, though!
Is it because he's German?
He's German.
Is he German?
I don't
think that's right.
Or is it Dutch?
That sounds more right, but I also don't know if it's right.
I don't know.
Oh wow, that was a huge venture pop out, whatever it's called. As I said, I don't play that character.
I know the move and what it does, but I don't know the name of it.
Couldn't tell you what it's called.
When have I ever referred to anything in this game by its proper name? I call Kiriko Ultimate Fox Tube.
Fox Tube.
Maybe just stop it.
Am I wrong though? It's a Fox Tube.
Like YouTube, but for foxes.
Hello, Fox Tube. My name is Kiriko Flyer. Welcome back to Cervasa.
So y'all much for this game.
Ragbell's gonna come out.
This is looking really, really rough for CSU. Probably gonna lose this first team fight, but if they're gonna be if Messiah's burning ultimates here, CSU might have a really good situation to. Oh, CSU was able to backcap here.
They actually didn't lose. Well, I think they lost one in that fight, but everyone else got to the point unscathed pretty much.
Pretty much, which is what you want to see here. CSU being able to build percentage. They are also gonna have a lot of ultimates in the tank here. I think my main concern is the Beat Blade.
Yeah, that could be an issue. Again, you do have.
There's the beat. Don't think we're seeing the blade. All beat, no blade. Never mind. There it is, right after the beat.
CSU used their beat.
We saw a beat blade, but it beat blade.
There was beat and there was blade.
Beat delayed.
That was beat blade beat, I guess.
Beat blade beat. It's like a rhythm game.
Pretty much. I mean, it's the rhythm of the encounter. Both Lucio's going down. Looks like we're on mute.
Lucio.
Dovera unfortunately goes down alongside Winter. So like CSU is slowly hemorrhaging players. Nebby in the bag still up top, just trying to contest, but unfortunately, that's looking like Messiah's able to pull it. CSU did push to 99 though.
Yeah, that was a good back cap, and they did have a pretty good hold there for a second. They still have a decent amount of ults they can dump into this fight, or next fight for the new point.
It's roughly what you want to see if you're CSU here, even if it isn't winning. Fox Tube comes down from Messiah. They're going to wait it out for just a little bit, waiting for this flashpoint to unlock.
There's a Proxy Mines. What's that all actually called? Is it just Proximity Mines?
I thought it's Minefield. I've always just called it Minefield.
It might be.
You play Minesweeper?
I do. I have.
Like I feel like Minesweeper is like one of those games where it's like before you know how to play Minesweeper, it's such an it makes no sense until you understand it entirely.
You either don't know how to play Minesweeper or you know how to play Minesweeper.
No, exactly.
Oh, can't quite find the kill. Shu's gonna go down.
Unfortunate CSU losing access to a tank. Still trying to contest on this
Oh my goodness, that was a fat venture, whatever it's called.
Unfortunate. It's really painful to be in this situation. You know what I think would be really funny in a hero shooter? Somebody's ultimate forces everybody in the enemy team to do a captcha until they can, and then they can't input anything until they finish it. No, exactly.
That'd be the most annoying ultimate in maybe gaming history.
I don't know, because like it's just a stun, but you get to like engage with the stun itself.
You can speedrun the stun.
Exactly.
Alright guys, I walked in.
It'd be like the most competitively unviable ult of all time.
I don't know if I agree. Like you're
either prepared and you got it instantly, or you're screwed for the next like 4 seconds.
That's cool though. I think that's sick. Taking a bit of a pause here.
I think it's a well-timed pause.
Gives us more time to talk about this.
Oh yeah.
So hypothetically.
Hypothetically, a child and a bear.
Hypothetically, the flavor.
Hypothetically, if you were to drink the flavor. Wait, were you? No, I don't think we can talk about the flavor on this stream.
You haven't been allowed to talk about the flavor because we should say no.
I mean,
the flavor.
The flavor.
Okay.
We can mention.
Why is it spelled that way?
That's how I spell. I put a U in flavor. Okay, that's how I spell it.
European.
It's just this little thing that I like and you hate it.
I didn't say I hate it.
It cost 1 cent more for a newspaper publication.
Yeah,
I'm not a newspaper publisher.
You wasted some expo marker to write the U.
Good.
Oh, what? We only have 2 of those.
and we care about it with the Dracula Nation on the board.
Well, that's not one of those ones. That one's red.
And it's still Dracula Nation.
Yeah, because it's awesome.
I mean, Dracula Nation is awesome. Are you pro or con Dracula? Are you
He's
for
a
or
great
against?
guy.
I'm with you there. Like, everybody wants to be like, oh, he's an inhuman monster. Oh, he drinks blood. Have you ever talked to him? He's Dracula, dude.
He owes Moon Knight $5.
Who hasn't owed a guy $5 before?
Exactly. All right, get back into it.
I owe $60,000.
And they still haven't got me. They never will.
And they never will. Alrighty, CSU unfortunately in a bit of a pickle. Gonna have to win this point and every point after it if they want their chance to win here.
Every ult up for pretty much every side besides the Junker Queen.
Everything in the kitchen sink available right now. Alright, proximity mines are gonna go down here. Doverit gets taken out, but the Fox Cube does come down. CSU losing some players. Not what you want to see. ShamWow on some really low health and goes down.
Yeah, Masai's done a really good job here of just finding the players that are slightly out of position.
It's really, really painful.
I mean, with the hypermobile comp that they've been playing for most of this game, this map in particular and the last one, they just kind of dive around until they find the pick in the back line.
We've begun the excavation initiation, looking like CSU is taking some serious hits.
Shoe's gonna go down.
Even if Blizzard wants to ignore this character, it's looking like CSU cannot.
Still have Beat Blade up.
Do have Beat Blade up, which is the scary part.
Here it comes.
It's the blade that comes out, but I don't think we're going to see the beat. Hack on the Genji at the very least to just try and prevent it.
That's actually both DPS down.
It's what you want to see sees you in a bit of a situation. They have to take this here and hold it. Rotating onto the point, it's looking like they're going to get their pick.
Hack onto the Wrecking Ball.
Me when I hack the hamster.
They do find the kill on the hamster.
Just like 6th grade.
Average hamster.
I won't ask.
Rest in peace.
I didn't know you were in the microwave.
No! I think about that experiment sometimes, but that's not for today's stream.
Winter finds a pickup onto the Kiriko there.
That is important. If they can just keep these staggers going, they're in a great situation to just hold.
Big hack.
And the virus onto the Wrecking Ball takes huge damage. Gonna force out the force field. CSU in a bit of ultimate advantage.
The EMP.
Hits the EMP, lights are out. Dovera and Winter go down, unfortunately, as Shoes tries to 1v1 the tank. Unfortunately, that's going to be the Fox 2 coming down. CSU taking some major, major hits. I don't think anybody's on the point.
No, I don't think they have any way to touch either.
That is very painful with CSU, unfortunately, getting 3-0'd by Messiah. Not what you want to see.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there. Messiah was just really good with their dive comps.
It was brutal. It felt like they were incredibly good at coordinating on who to choose to just beam down. Their damage was incredibly high, and as much as CSU was trying to compete, it really, really struggles to just... It's so difficult in these situations to kind of get that momentum back. In Overwatch, losing a player is so huge.
Yeah. I think the only time that CSU really fought back there was when they had their mantra mirror, and when they forced them off that dive comp, they kind of got something going for a second there. They really couldn't find a way around the dive.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
they got dived, and which is the hard part. Like sometimes, Messiah was really good at that composition, and it's really hard to beat somebody who's playing their own game.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. I have been Psychic here with Elm and Lobs. I think tomorrow we've got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so please feel free to come back around for that. I will be here for that, most certainly. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a great time.